In movies and video games, firing a gun looks effortless. You pull a trigger, and the weapon smoothly throws a piece of metal downrange. In reality, a firearm acts as a reinforced containment vessel designed to withstand a chaotic, violent chemical explosion. For centuries, the fuel for that explosion was raw chemical potential, like black powder stored loosely in metal flasks. Directing that blast involves trapping the pressure and forcing it forward through the barrel, preventing the metal from shattering and injuring the shooter. The solution to that dangerous problem relies on a rule of physics established all the way back in 1687. A firearm is essentially a specialized engine, perfectly built to execute Newton's third law of motion. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. The sequence starts mechanically. Pulling the trigger drops a firing pin, which strikes a sensitive chemical cap called a primer. That primer is built into the base of a modern, self-contained cartridge. This brass casing securely holds the ignition source, gunpowder, and bullet all in one unit. When the firing pin hits that circular base, the primer sparks, igniting the gunpowder packed inside. That burning powder undergoes a rapid chemical change, violently expanding into high-pressure gas. In this cutaway, heavy steel walls surround the explosion. The expanding gases have only one path, forward against the bullet. This pressure acts like a piston, forcing the projectile down the tube, which stabilizes it as it accelerates to lethal speeds. This explosive forward propulsion of the bullet, that is the action half of Newton's equation. Physics requires absolute balance. You cannot generate that much forward energy without a physical consequence. Looking at this force breakdown, the math becomes clear. The top shows the massive force driving the small bullet forward, but the bottom shows the exact same amount of force simultaneously pushing backward against the larger mass of the gun itself. That equal and opposite backward kinetic force is what we call recoil. This backward force provides the physical reaction required to maintain the balance of the system. For centuries, shooters simply accepted this backward kick as a byproduct. They built heavy wooden stocks to manually absorb the blow, resetting their aim and reloading by hand after every single shot. Eventually, engineers recognized an opportunity. Instead of fighting that massive backward force, they realized they could harvest it. Modern auto-loading mechanisms capture that exact rearward energy to do the heavy lifting. The backward pressure from the blast physically unlocks the weapon's internal bolt. As that bolt rides its track backward, it grabs the now empty brass casing and forcefully ejects it out of the side of the weapon. A heavy internal spring absorbs the last of that backward momentum, compresses, and snaps forward, sliding a fresh, live round directly into the chamber. By capturing the kick that used to bruise a shooter's shoulder, the modern firearm operates as a self-sustaining loop. It uses the forward action to hit the target and the backward reaction to ready the next shot.